All right, my WNBA fans, anybody that follows the sport, let's get into it. Obviously, tomorrow marks the start of the WNBA season. I am going to do a WNBA prediction of who I think the top 8 teams will be, the top 8 teams that will make the playoffs. I think I'm going to do a prediction, just a prediction for the Sparks. Actually, regular season prediction for the Sparks and a regular prediction for the Fever, because ever since WNBA's inception, I've always kind of been a Sparks fan. That's who I rooted for. I don't know if they were really my team per se. I also showed support for the Sky because obviously most of my teams are from Chicago. My football team's from there, my baseball team's from there, my hockey team. So I show a little bit of love to the Sky, but I will not show love to that team anymore because I cannot stand Angel Reese. Excuse me, the Brick Barbie. But ever since I was probably a senior in high school, which I graduated in '95, I always said that it was unfair for the women because when their college career was over, they didn't have nowhere to go. It was just over. I've always said, even throughout high school, they needed a professional sport to go play. And then, on April 24th of 1996, they founded the WNBA. I always said that they needed a Women's National Basketball Association. I didn't think of the initials WNBA. I just said Women's National Basketball Association. And then in 1997, they started playing. Now, there was 8 teams to start with. Now, a lot of them teams that were, some of them teams, first originally teams that were in there are no longer teams. So teams like the Charlotte Sting, the Cleveland Rockers, the Houston Comets, the Sacramento Monarchs, and the Utah Stars are no longer teams. But yeah, we got a lot of good teams. I believe there is what? There are now 13 teams with the expansion team of the Golden State Valkyries this year. So obviously it's going to be an interesting year. There is plans to expand to 16 teams. Obviously the WNBA plays 44 games, so they play basically half of what the NBA plays. Hopefully they'll expand that at some point to a few more games. But as far as me, ever since the league came an exception, I've kind of not really followed. I haven't been a diehard fan where I followed hardcore, but I try to keep up on it because I was always kind of like, I didn't really have a team, but because I was a Lakers fan, I always kind of just supported that. I just kind of, because when I was fresh out of high school, I was still kind of a Lakers and a Bulls fan because obviously I was a Bulls fan because I was a huge Michael Jordan fan, obviously, growing up. But when he kind of retired, I just kind of stuck with the Lakers because that, before Jordan came along, that was kind of my team. And then I kind of switched over. I kind of started being a Bulls fan because of Jordan. But I never really owned any Bulls gear other than I owned a couple of hats and then I owned a couple of Bulls t-shirts. But the Bulls t-shirts I had Michael Jordan on them, so it was more a Michael Jordan shirt. But anyways, that's why I kind of just cheered for the Sparks. I'm still kind of a Sparks fan. Obviously, Lisa Leslie was one of my all-time favorite women's college basketball players. So I just kind of stuck with the Sparks because I didn't know many of the other teams. I also kind of showed love to the Blackhawk, or to the Chicago Sky when they came around, because obviously I'm a Bears fan, I'm a Blackhawks fan, I'm a Cubs fan. So, but I will however, not show any support to Chicago Sky. And plus, Candace Parker played there as well, who was another one of my favorites. Obviously, I'm not going to cheer for him now because I cannot stand the Brick Barbie Angel Reese. I'm not going to support a team that has her on it. I'd say the same either if she went to the Fever. So right now, I don't really have a favorite team. The 2 teams I really root for, the 3 teams I will root for are the Sparks. And no, it's not because of Kevin Brink. It's just because I've always kind of rooted for that team. The Indiana Fever because I'm from Iowa, so I'm a huge Caitlin Clark fan. And then the Dallas Wings because I'm also a very huge Paige Buckers fan. So, I mean, I don't really have a team. If I had to choose just one, it would probably be the Indiana Fever because, like I said, I'm from Iowa, and I majorly support our girl Caitlin Clark. So, which is weird because I can't stand the Iowa Hawkeyes in any college sports. Women, I don't dislike the women's teams for college sports. I just dislike the men's teams. Don't know why, I just do. I mean, I don't mind the wrestling team, but their college football team and their men's college basketball and football team I cannot stand. But anyways, here we go, guys. Let's just get into some predictions here. If I had to pick a team, it'd probably be the Fever because of Caitlin Clark. But let's get into some predictions here. I got to go pause this because I got to go look at some things here. My predictions are follow the 8 teams that will make it this year for the Wnba. I'm going to go with starters. I'm going to go with last year's champions, defending champions, the New York Liberty. Going to go with New York Liberty, defending champions, New York Liberty, Connecticut Sun, Minnesota Lynx, Las Vegas Aces. I'm going to go with the Indiana Fever. I'm going to go with the Dallas Wings. And then I'm going to go with the Phoenix Mercury, and I'm also going to go with, to sneak in there in the 8th and final spot, I'm going to go with the Los Angeles Sparks. So there you have them are my 8 teams. A team that I think will win it all this year is actually the Minnesota Lynx. That's a very good team over there. They've been good for a couple years. I think they're due. I think early on prediction, I'm going with Minnesota Lynx to win the championship. I'm going with them to beat the Indiana Fever in the championship. So that's my picks for the championship game. As of right now, that could change. Once the playoffs start, I'll do an actual playoff prediction, but that could change. Also, I'm going to go with Caitlin Clark, my girl, to win MVP this year. I'm also going to go with Paige Buckers, my other girl, to win Rookie of the Year. So let's go.